Hey guys, Scott DeSalvo, the injury lawyer, shooting a video for you today. And this is a topic near and dear to my heart. The topic is, when is a chiropractor your best treatment option after an injury versus when is it a bad idea? Okay? So, years ago, I represented a guy who was in a car crash, and he had a relationship with a chiropractor. I don't mean a romantic relationship. There's nothing salacious in this video. His wife had a bad back, so they knew the chiro, and he was a great guy. And so when he hurt himself, he hurt his neck and back in a car crash. So he went there, like they didn't even go to their family doctor. They went to the chiro. Chiro examined him, gave him treatment, and it was a very straightforward case. And the cool thing was, he ultimately he was in therapy for a little while, and then the chiro sent him out to a medical doctor uh, who examined him and referred him for MRIs. The MRIs came back normal, so the guy wasn't 20 years old, so there were arthritis findings in his neck and back, wear and tear findings in his neck and back, and that's what you expect. And the doctor and the chiro didn't think any of those findings were related to the car crash, but they, it was a muscle and ligament sprain type case. And after about 3 months, the pain was at a manageable level. He was discharged. He went back to work. Everything was fine. Here's why using a chiropractor in that case was actually a very good thing for him, right? Before I go into that, I'll tell you, for the most part, insurance companies do not like chiropractors, okay? I'm not sure why. I suspect that it was intentional by insurance companies, because insurance companies have been on a concerted, are making a concerted effort to discredit chiropractors and chiropractic treatment, and even any kind of physical medicine or physical therapy, right? They want to cut it short. They want you to do it at home by yourself. And I'm going to tell you, listen, like compliance levels at home, doing the exercises the right way, doing the exercises through discomfort, it's just not going to happen at home. You need to be at an appointment. And the other thing is, the therapist or the chiropractor observes what's going on. And if you have a point of pain in the range of motion doing an exercise or a stretch or an activity that they prescribe to you, that's important information, because it may show that there's an additional injury that was initially missed. None of that is ever going to happen if you're doing home exercise. But end of sermon. They don't like chiropractors. Why? Because chiropractors get people in for treatment immediately. They generally document the files very well, and they generally are very good. Because look, the difference between medical doctors and chiropractors is medical doctors learn, the curricula of a medical doctor and a chiropractor is like 90% the same. But chiropractors don't prescribe medicine, and they don't do surgery. They focus completely on a more natural healing of the body, position, balance, strength, and motion disparities, and correcting them, right? And they do that non-invasively. So you're not going to ruin your liver and kidneys with a bunch of pain medication unless you really need it. And you're not going to get cut on unless, they overturn every stone. And that's, I don't know why insurance companies hate chiropractors, but it must be because they're doing a good job. And here's why in the case we were talking about, it was a good idea that this person went to a chiropractor. They had an established relationship with him. They trusted him. He was a good doctor. He did a great job on the guy's wife's back. And he did a great job for this guy. He got him pain-free. And he was hands-on, right? So often the way medicine is going now is everybody uses physician's assistants, PAs they're called. And the doctor, the medical doctor, the orthopedic, the neurologist is rarely ever seeing the patient. The status visits to these doctors are all PA. And God bless PAs. They make these practices affordable enough so that we're not paying $100,000, for every injury case. I understand is that they're, an efficiency move and they're necessary. But contrast that with most chiropractor offices. You actually are seeing the chiropractor every time, and they're checking in. They're more hands-on, and that's good because they can do micro changes to your treatment to address the areas that are flaring up per appointment. And you rarely get that. You rarely get that with a medical doctor, and depending on the PT clinic, some PTs are just going to say, okay, my boss prescribed these exercises and stretches, that's what you're going to do. You can't blame them if they're the junior person there. They're following their bosses, their senior medical personnel's directions, right? But a good PT or a good chiropractor worth their weight in gold. Now, why can't you just see a PT? Well, that has to do with evidence, right? So it was good that this guy went to see a chiropractor because a chiropractor, unlike a physical therapist, can come into court and say, give the causation opinion, right? And they can give the medically necessary opinion. What do I mean by that? Well, in every injury case, we have to be able to prove that the accident caused the injury. And even if it's common sense to you and me, you and I are not allowed to give that opinion. Only a medical doctor or chiropractor or other licensed physician in the state of Illinois. Now, your state might be different, but in the state of Illinois, only a licensed physician can give that opinion, and that only a licensed physician can say that the medical treatment was reasonable and necessary, and medically indicated. So those are things we have to prove, and if we can't prove them, we can't win your case. Now, when is a chiropractor maybe not the best decision? Well, this is, I've had cases, thankfully nothing recently, but years and years ago when I was a young lawyer, there were many, many, many cases where a neighborhood chiropractor would treat a patient. The patient was not getting any better. There were indications that there was nerve compression or something else going on. And for whatever reason, there was a long delay in getting them out for x-rays, MRIs, CT scans, or doing a neurology or orthopedic consultation, right? So chiropractic treatment and physical medicine, physical therapy type treatment that chiropractors give really helps people, and it can reduce pain per visit, right? Sometimes it'll increase pain per visit, if the body part is injured, but that increased blood flow and movement, it ultimately helps the recovery, okay? But what happens if the chiropractor is not sending you out for an x-ray, MRI, CT scan, or a consult with an orthopedic doctor or neurologist? It can actually set your treatment back, okay? So there's a certain percentage of people who do need surgery in a neck and back injury case. And if you're one of those people, whether you're seeing a chiro, a medical doctor, a PT, physical therapist, the way it usually works is they want the most conservative care first, because the conservative care helps you, it reduces your pain, it increases the speed at which you recover, but it's also diagnostic. What do I mean by diagnostic? I mean that if you're doing therapy for 6 weeks or 8 weeks because your neck and shoulder hurt, and your pain is not getting better, and you're having tingling down the arm, having done that therapy rules out that there's no nerve involvement, right? Now it's time to send you for an MRI, or at least to consult with an orthopedic doctor who does shoulders or necks. And they can examine you and decide whether you need an MRI. And this way they can tell, is the nerve being pinched? Is there a torn rotator cuff? Can we try and, at this point, therapy's not doing it. We need to try an injection to quiet the nerves down. Or it might be that this guy's got a torn rotator cuff and needs surgery. So no amount of therapy is going to replace epidural injections for pain. No amount of therapy is going to replace surgery when it's necessary. It's just that when you're in a situation, it's perfectly okay to start out treatment with a chiropractor, but if it's not getting better within 6 to 8 weeks, it's time for an MRI or a consult with an orthopedic or a neurologist or, somebody who can screen you and explain why the problems are continuing, right? So anyway, that tells you when chiropractors are good and when chiropractors, when it's time to, go out and see a different specialist. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't, if the orthopedic surgeon says, do an injection and do this therapy, it doesn't mean you can't return to the chiropractor and do the therapy. You can. A lot of chiropractors these days have physical therapists in their office. So, that's how that works. Anyway, I hope that information helped you. I just picked these videos based on the questions people ask me or consultations I have. I never use names. I change the facts a little bit so nobody could ever be identified. And I usually talk about cases from a long time ago anyway. But anyway, if you have a question, you can leave it in the comments section. I'm happy to shoot a video for you. But obviously, I make my money by representing injured people. So if you have anybody you'd like to refer to me, or if you'd like a free consultation, completely free to talk to me, completely free to talk about your case, and I'd be happy to represent you in your injury case. You can call me anytime, night or day, 312-500-4500. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. If you or anyone you know has been hurt in an accident and needs a lawyer or even just has questions, give me a call anytime, day or night, at 312-500-4500. You can call me anytime, day or night, and the consultation is free. That's 312-500-4500. Or if you're not ready to talk to a lawyer, I made 2 great tools that really help people out that you can use for free on my website. The links are in the description. The first one is called the Case Cash Calculator, and it tells you what your case might be worth. The other is called the Good Case Calculator, and it tells you whether you might have a good case or you might have a case with some challenges. The best part is that they're 100% free to use on my website, and it only takes you 20 seconds flat to answer 7 multiple choice questions right off the top of your head. And then you get custom information about your particular injury situation fast and for free. So check them out, links in the description. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to my channel. I release 2 new videos every week, and this way you'll get notice of them. And if you have a question you'd like answered in a video, just leave a comment with your question in the comments section. Finally, if you enjoy my videos or if I've helped you in any way, I hope you'll consider doing me a favor. Injury law is a very competitive field, and I like having a small independent firm so I can help people who need it. People really rely on Google reviews when deciding who to hire, so I hope you'll consider leaving me a 5-star review on Google. It only takes a few seconds, but it's a favor to me that I would really appreciate. The link is in the description. You just go to that link, click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit, and you're done. Once again, I hope you and your family are well, and if anyone you know needs an injury lawyer or has questions, please send them my way by calling 312-500-4500. Thanks again for watching. Take care.